Hi everyone. So this is a story that angers and upsets me. It really does. It angers and upsets me, and I'm no doubt after you hear this, if you haven't heard of it so far, you're going to be angry and upset as well, because CNN have fired Marc Lamont Hill, a commentator that they have working for them, or had working for them, because he defended Palestine at the United Nations in a speech. I just want to go to the electronic intifada for this. I can't show the speech because I'll get a copyright strike, but I can read a bit of it out, the important bit. It's inspiring, I'll get to it in a minute. But this is what the electronic intifada have said, and I've got nothing really I need to add other than this, because it's brilliant the way they've written it. Marc Lamont Hill gave a beautiful speech at the United Nations event, marking the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people this week. For this, the Temple University professor and long-time advocate for Palestinian rights has been the target of an orchestrated political lynching by Israel lobby groups. So he's been this way for a while. It's been years he's been standing up for Palestine, but they fired him now. Smeared as an anti-Semite and grotesquely and falsely accused of calling for genocide against Jews, Hill was fired from his role as a political commentator for CNN. So you can guarantee, I've checked that, grotesquely and falsely accused, it's all Twitter people. It's all Twitter. I wouldn't be surprised if they are Israeli Twitter bots. Here's where the bots are, Israel. The same Israel lobby operatives who bullied CNN into ending Hill's contract are also demanding that he be fired from his teaching position. Oh great, so they haven't just, got him fired from one job, they want to ruin his life as well, for having the gall to stand up for an occupied people and stand up against apartheid. The university has rebuffed these clauses, however, citing Hill's constitutionally protected right to express his opinion as a private citizen. Well done, Temple University, for standing up for free speech. The accusations against Marc Lamont Hill are outright lies promoted by high-level operatives of the Israel lobby in their latest effort to silence and punish anyone who dares speak out in support of Palestinian equality and freedom from Israel's brutal regime of occupation, settler colonialism, and apartheid. They perfectly match the kind of smear and sabotage tactics revealed in the censored Al Jazeera documentary on the US-Israel lobby that was recently published in full by the Electronic Intifada. I've seen the first episode of that and it's damning. It really is. I will see the other 3 episodes this weekend. If you haven't seen it yet, I suggest you do at some stage too, because it's eye-opening. That first episode really was eye-opening. I knew the Israel lobby was bad. I knew that they had fingers in many pies. I had no idea they were doing some of the tactics that they are doing. They are despicable. Despicable. Now I just want to get to his speech down here, a little bit of his speech, because I want to read this to you. Bear with me, because this is inspiring, and yet he got fired for it. He said this: "As a black American, my understanding of action and solidarity action is rooted in our own tradition of struggle. As black Americans resisted slavery, as well as Jim Crow laws that transformed us from a slave state to an apartheid state, we did so through multiple tactics and strategies. It is this array of tactics that I appeal to as I advocate for concrete action from all of us in this room. Solidarity from the international community demands that we embrace boycotts, divestment and sanctions as a critical means by which to hold Israel accountable for its treatment of Palestinian people. This movement, which emerges out of the overwhelming majority of Palestinian civil society, offers a non-violent means by which to demand a return to the pre-1967 borders, full rights for Palestinian citizens, and the right of return as dictated by international law. Solidarity demands that we no longer allow politicians or political parties to remain silent on the question of Palestine. We can no longer, in particular, allow the political left to remain radical or even progressive on every issue, from the environment to war, on the economy, to remain progressive on every issue except for Palestine. As somebody I greatly admire said recently, loudly, progressives are supposed to be consistent. Contrary to Western mythology, black resistance to American apartheid did not come purely through Gandhi and non-violence. Rather, slave revolts and self-defense and tactics otherwise divergent from Dr. King and Mahatma Gandhi were equally important to preserving safety and attaining freedom. We must allow, if we are to operate in true solidarity with Palestinian people, we must allow the Palestinian people of the same range of opportunity and political possibility. If we are standing in solidarity with the Palestinian people, we must recognise the right of an occupied people to defend itself. We must prioritise peace, but we must not romanticise and fetish it. We must advocate and promote non-violence at every opportunity, but we cannot endorse a narrow politics of respectability that shames Palestinians for resisting, for refusing to do nothing in the face of a state violence and ethnic cleansing. Just a couple of points from that I want to bring up. BDS, boycott, divest and sanction. It worked with South Africa. That's how South Africa buckled away from apartheid. It will work again with Israel. But it needs, as Mark correctly says there, it needs the international community to link arm in arm together as they did with South Africa to actually do this. And at the moment, they're not doing close to enough. Now, he ended his speech, and it says here in the Electronic Intifada, Hill ended his speech with a call for a free Palestine from the river to the sea. A political lynch mob tried to spin these words as a genocidal call for the destruction of Israel. Of course they did. Of course they did. It's what they did. And this is how he got fired. CNN severs ties with liberal pundit Marc Lamont Hill after his controversial remarks on Israel, says CNN. There's nothing controversial about that. The only controversy is, hey, CNN must stand up for apartheid. That's the controversy. You on the side of apartheid, are you, CNN? All they said in the statement, as it says down there, Marc Lamont Hill is no longer under contract with the CNN. That's it. I haven't found anything yet. Any other statement CNN have said, they've just said he's fired, and that's it. Didn't give any reasons for it. If anybody can find a statement that I've made, please let me know. Please link it in the comments below. But Marc Lamont Hill has responded on Twitter with these statements as covered in the CNN report. My reference to the river of the sea was not a call to destroy anything or anyone. Hill continued in a separate tweet. It was a call for justice both in Israel and in the West Bank Gaza. The speech very clearly and specifically said those things. No amount of debate will change what I actually said or what I meant. Twisting what is said to spin whatever narrative that they want. And this narrative is, hey, if you say, from the river to the sea, that means you want to destroy Israel. No, it doesn't. It's a slogan. It's a pro-Palestinian slogan. It's a pro-Arab slogan, if you like. That's it. I can't find any references to, especially in the mainstream, to it being something that calls for the destruction and the annihilation of Israel. Can't see anything. It's often said at anti-Israel demonstrations, but it's a pro-Palestinian slogan, from what I can tell. If anybody has more knowledge on this, please again let me know. But it looks to me like they have took something that is a slogan that he said at the end of his speech, on that great speech, that inspiring speech. They've took 5 words that he said at the end of it and spun it and said, fire him, CNN, and CNN have gone, yes sir. This is disgusting. And the reason why it's disgusting is this. This means that the Israel lobby, even though it's clear that they are meddling in politics, not just in America, but in the UK as well. Don't look at Russia. If you want to find meddling in elections and interfering in the fabric of society in our countries, in the UK and US, don't look at Russia. Look at Israel. Look at what they're doing. This occupation of Palestine has to stop. This apartheid has to stop. And the only way it's going to stop is if we stand up and make our governments and make the international community bend to our will. There are more of us than there are of them. There are more of us standing up for Palestine than there are of them. They are well funded, yes. They are powerful, yes. But so are we. Marc Lamont Hill is somebody who is in that group. They will come after you. No doubt. I will be a target in the future. if I carry on, growing. No doubt I will. But I tell you this, there's no way I would change my stance. And listening to his speech as well, Marc Lamont Hill, there's no way he will change his stance. If anything, he'll be digging his heels in right now and making even more of a noise, and I really hope he does. I really hope he does. They are trying to blur the lines here. It's the same tactic as always with the Israel lobby. Whenever you are pro-Palestinian or criticise Israel's occupation of Palestine, illegal occupation under international law, whenever you protest that, whenever you say something against it, they try and paint you as an anti-Semite. It is their tactic. It is what they do. Don't let them do it. If you notice, I have not said one word, the word, in this video that begins with J at all. Why don't I do that? Because it's simple. I don't want to give them ammunition to try and conflate the two. I only talk about standing up for Palestine. That's it. And occupied people who are having their homes destroyed and settlers move in illegally. And nobody's doing a damn thing about it in the international community, and we've got to stop them. CNN, hang your heads in shame. Because if CNN don't realise the simple fact, and I am going to say the J word and the Z word now, ending this video, if they don't understand the simple fact that most Zionists, the overwhelming amount of Zionists are not Jews, and the overwhelming amount of Jews are not Zionists, unless they actually embrace that fact and teach people that that is the case, and that's the facts, then shit like this is going to carry on. And we have to stand up against people like CNN who are doing this. So if you are in America, make sure you spread the word about this. Make sure you shame them. Make sure you give them as much grief on Twitter as possible. I don't mean be, nasty, but make sure your voice is heard, because that's the only way that the Palestinian people are actually going to see any kind of future. It's only with our help that it's going to happen. If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and click the bell below so you get a notification of when I drop further videos. Independent voices like mine, I'm sure you're aware by now, are being censored across all social media platforms, so please like and comment on the videos. That really does help the channel out, and share the videos wherever you can to grow the audience. If you can, please support me on Patreon. You can do it for as little as $1 a month. I cannot do this without your help. I rely on your donations. Thanks very much for your support. It really is appreciated. Until next time, peace and take care.